Hey guys, welcome to the show. Arm&Gun here, and today's top 5 theme is guns that are not an AR-10. So they're going to all be in that same category, 308, semi-automatic battle rifle. But typically in the United States, anyways, that category, that theme, that type of gun, pretty much dominated by the AR-10. So I want to shine some light on some other great platforms that aren't necessarily an AR-10. This one looks very much like one, but again, it is not. It's a very unique system, proprietary system. With that in mind, most AR-10s, there's not really a mil spec for AR-10s. There's quite a wide range of designs out there, but a lot of them stick to the pretty much tried and true oversized AR-15 system. So I'm going to bring you 5 different designs today that I think are quite unique. Of course, you probably saw the G28 laying across all these guns as the thumbnail. But that's not my bonus gun. That's just another gun that I'm going to kind of argue is kind of not an AR-10, and then we're actually going to see the actual bonus gun, which is kind of, well, a derivative of the G28. So without further ado, let's pop up my screen so you can see all these guys here that we're going to talk about today. And that's our table, and there's our G28. I better just lay this down here because what we're doing right now is the thumbnail. Congrats. Thanks, guys. Boom. Okay, so that's what you guys saw. So I brought you guys here. I'll come back to the G28 when I kind of argue why that should be its own platform as well. And let's kick things off with something neat and unique. We've got the FAME SG542. Now, my last top 5 video, the exotic guns, had this gun as well. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I've also got a full video series of it, but suffice to say, this is Chile's battle rifle. The military uses it still quite extensively today, I believe. It's very tried and true design based on the Swiss, or the original SIG 542 design. SG 542 rather, I think that was before SIG was even in the picture. But yeah, awesome battle rifle. Really like it, nice lightweight, pointable. Just great gun. I like it, I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, so then next up, we're going to, I already talked about this one in the other video, I'm gonna come back to this guy. Let's look at this thing. This thing is, well, if there's any Canadians watching, they're probably going to recognize it because this was a huge deal for us, like 2013 or so when this thing came out. AR-15s and their variants and derivatives are typically banned in Canada. Well, not banned, but they're treated like a restricted license gun or restricted firearm, kind of like an NFA in the States, but worse. So it's really tough to do much with an AR-15 outside of sport shooting. But you can't really hunt with them. You can't really shoot them on private property that much without very special circumstances. So this thing was a unique design developed by ATRS, stands for Alberta Tactical Rifle Solutions, I believe. And this is another adventure or innovation from Alberta. Black Label Bipod. Oh, these things are widely available on bolt guns as well. Black Label Bipods has picked up a number of contracts with companies like Tikka. They're putting this on Tikka. You get them as a factory upgrade. Pretty cool. This is just the best quality handguard system I've ever seen. Integrated bipod, still quite lightweight. M-lock slots. It's unbelievably nice. It's the Lamborghini bipods in my opinion. But it went really well in this gun. So this company, ATRS, makes custom guns in Canada, and without going into too much more detail, they've got nice features like a little stiff, really stiff. And now my camera's probably a bit muted from that loud noise, but nice ambi bolt release, and then it's got a nice side charger over here, non-reciprocating side charger. I quite like that. Overall, just a really cool weapon system. Made in Canada. It's called the Modern Hunter. So takes AR mags, takes AR buttstocks, a handful of AR-10 rifle or handguards, AR-10 mags, and of course is outfitted with a traditional 5/8 by 24 muzzle device. So lots of options there. This one has a proof research carbon fiber barrel. Quite nice. This one's set up as an 18.6 inch barrel. Just to clear, again, that threshold in Canada to avoid our SBR laws. So this can truly be used outdoors and hunted with, which is indicative of its name, the Modern Hunter. Outfitted with an Elcan Spectre DR 139, the TR, just as a quick note. And let's jump over once again to a Sage EBR. So this is, you know, typically a Mark 14, really popular in a lot of video games, but just a really nice gun. I've got a bit of a twist with this one. Being in Canada, I thought I would bring you guys some Chinese action here. Literally, the action is Norinco M305 is what their model number for the M1A basically guns are in Canada. Fantastic receiver. It's a forged receiver, and honestly, they did that really well. Otherwise, it takes all your other parts, and the other parts quality can be a bit questionable. But a lot of guys literally buy the gun, strip it just for that forged receiver, and then outfit it with, you know, high-end M1A parts and use it as a nice target gun, because that forged receiver does make a great platform to build on. But as a Mark 14 and a Sage EBR platform chassis, these are just awesome guns, just rugged. Again, kind of the last iteration of that M1 Garand. I'm in Canada, so I should say Garand. That's how you actually pronounced his name, John Garand. Adjustable, you know, cheek rise, length of pull. You can get additional optics mounts that go over, that bridge that gap, so you can put a proper optic on it. But just what a cool system. What a cool system. Again, this one's got an 18.6-inch barrel on it, and it's been locked up nicely. Just going to drop this, and I'll show you how nice the trigger is. Oh, get a load of this. You get the nice little ting at the end as well. Just a great system. And again, that was an M305. It's been a bit tuned, but not a lot. You can get into that gun for, well, I got super lucky with that for about $1,200 US, including the stock. So I got pretty lucky there, but nonetheless, that's the Mark 14, one of my picks. Now let's settle right in the center here. This is the Swiss B&T, their new APC 308 full-length rifle, 18.9-inch fluted barrel, just gorgeous. I did a full video series on this thing already, and this thing just performed amazingly well. Super reliable from a bunch of different mags. I haven't tested accuracy out though. In the new year, I'll be doing a second series of videos on this gun, and one of them will focus on the accuracy. I'll bring you along for the ride with the Tacticam camera that you can let you see right through my scope. And you guys will definitely enjoy the cool reticle and the great, you know, quality that these zero compromise scopes have in them. Unbelievable. Really nice. If you're in Canada, quick plug to Tom at Go Big Tactical. He brings in the ZCOs, zero compromise optics from the States. Made in the States, but he uses Austrian glass, but all US components, and they test the heck out of these things. These are up-and-coming optics in the PRS world. And from what I hear, they can barely keep these in stock. They're getting so much demand for them. I think literally these tangent thetas and Heinzolts are like the top tier optics. But these are actually surprisingly a lot cheaper. They're where the tangent thetas and the Heinzolts are way up here. These guys are like $1,000 below, but similar quality. I think the only thing I've heard, this is a huge anecdote, by the way, I'm sorry. The turrets are the only area that I've heard that the tangent thetas have on these things. I would like to get a tangent theta in my hands as well to compare. As I have both of ZCO's optics. I've got their 420, which is the smallest ultra short, and then I've also got their 527, which is just, again, a gorgeous optic. These are 36mm tube, but I'm deep diving, so I'm going to jump out of that. This gun is awesome. I've got a full video series on this thing as well. Like I said, shooting, disassembly, you know, overview, modularity. It's a pretty modular platform as well. Got an ACR stock on this guy right now, but you can swap out AR grips, takes AR mags. Just a great gun, and such a smooth action. Like, it's unbelievably how buttery smooth this thing is. And these guns are really cool as well because they've got this really neat integral buffer system that makes them shoot. It's just so shootable. They're so smooth. You don't get a hard recoil or hard bottoming out shot in the shoulder because the way this thing works, it just, that last little bit, the buffer system engages and it just softens it, and it's just so nice. So definitely give that a check out if you guys are more interested. I'll pull all that stuff apart. You can see internally how the buffer system works and everything. So just really slick system, really nice factory trigger as well. I do believe you can swap in AR triggers as well, just as a quick note, as you know, on top of all that. And quick pop to Accutac. Those bipods are just really slick. I recently got one and I just can't stop talking about it enough. I really do enjoy it. So, okay, that's it for this gun. Now, this is probably my favorite gun, the one we saved for last year, number 5. In terms of a 308, this is one of my first semi-automatic 308s that I personally got, and it's an XCR-M. And I think the XCR series really shines in the 308, the heavy version. They make a light version as well. You can do 223, 760 by 39, 6.8, all that kind of stuff. But the 308 is just, it's just so reliable. It's such a smooth shooting gun. It's so easy to maintain. I think when they designed the gun, they designed it for the SCAR trials, and it's just, it didn't end up winning the SCAR trials. I mean, obviously the SCAR 17 won that, but man, what a great platform. I just love this thing. Short throw safeties, 45 degrees. I like that. This is all factory. Ambi mag release, takes PMags. I've had nothing but reliability out of it. I think except for the shooting video, I actually had a couple malfunctions. I'm not sure what that was due to, but I'm going to do more extensive testing on this thing in the new year. This thing is just, it's just, oh, I love it. It's got obviously a last round bolt hold open. The ergonomics are just phenomenal. I love this system being down here. Same kind of idea as the Bushmaster ACR, the way it's got this down here, but I think the implementation of this is better. You get more leverage on it. They're more tactile, bigger paddles. So I like that. Another company that does this on an AR platform is Sword. And you can check out their Mark 16, 17, 18. I believe they all have that functionality. Really nice. Really nice and just so easy to do all that. My only beef with the gun would be the charging handle, which I find it really comfortable to shoot with. But if it was up here and interchangeable from left to right, it was a monolithic upper. So I mean, I'm not sure again how all the design worked out. They would have probably had to make some sacrifices in terms of how sleek and slim this is, but they probably could have gotten a charging handle up here. Maybe I'm purely hypothetical, but that would be the only knock I have against it. The ACR, I think, does a little bit better in that regard, where it's up here and you can swap it from side to side. It's just better. It's not so much in your business. Like when you're locked up in this thing and you're leaning into it, if you ever got to do something like that, that's like right up, it's not as bad as a T handle for an AR-15 or an AR-10, but just my personal preference. Again, it's one of my favorite guns, so I've got to knock it for something, right? So again, I threw an ACR stock on there, though the new Fast 3 stocks that these guys have, if I got one, I'd probably throw that on here instead. And then Tactican. These are the guys I'm going to be using. This is the rig I'm going to be using to bring you guys along with me in shooting videos in the new year. Pretty excited about that. And this gorgeous little US Optics TS1X, 18X. Great optic for the value. Pretty unbelievable. They're not their US line, but for US Optics, I mean, what you get for the price point, pretty stellar. So that's probably what I'm going to leave it. Trigger's really nice on these guys. And that's probably my 5 guns, guys. I'll bring out the bonus gun. I'll bring out the G28 just to wrap this thing up and give my pitch for why I think it should be exempt from the AR-10 category as well. But, man, piston gun, kind of a piston gun, and direct impingement. This is the only direct impingement gun I have for you guys here today, actually. That's pretty unique. Just a quick observation, because the G28 is also a piston gun. It's a very heavy one, but it's a piston gun. And now this gun, well, I'm going to argue that it's really not an AR-10, is that it doesn't even take AR-10 magazines. Proprietary magazines, which are really nice. I do really enjoy them. They're like an oversized G36. They're really light. They're really durable. It's supposed to be very reliable. But the next thing I'm going to knock it for is, well, not knock it. It's unique. And it has a gorgeously smooth action. But the buffer tube, you can't, it's an oversized stock. You can't actually put an AR-10 or AR-15 style butt stock on here because it doesn't fit. The whole buffer tube itself, and that's pretty cool too, by the way, how the cheek piece stays in place while you adjust your length of pull. It's kind of neat. But this just is a wider diameter. Doesn't take factory or mil spec, I guess, stocks, commercial or mil spec. But that's it. It's also got this cool feature where let's prove this clear, you can fire. What's going on? Oh, duh. I will pop that. Close the action, obviously. Fire, and then you can throw it on safe. That's a really nice feature that Heckler & Koch designed. And yeah, leave it to them to figure out how to overcome a problem that plagues basically every other AR and derivative out there, because you can't put the safety on while the hammer is down. So anyways, that's my 5 guns. That was my pitch for that gun. Also, it's a piston gun. It's just super unique. Doesn't fit with none of the receivers made up at all. So, but the gun that was my true bonus gun is the modern derivative of the G28. The G28 was mainly flagged for, like, it's very heavy, like 13 pounds just for the gun. A lot of that is due to the really heavy all steel receiver. That mustard looking upper receiver, 100% steel. So they redesigned it, won the US contract to replace the M10, the M110, which was by Knights. They won it with their new CSAS. I don't have a CSAS, but I have something pretty darn close. This is the new MR308A3 system, patterned after the 417A2s. And boy, it is awesome. Basically an upscaled MR223A3, which I just, I always cringe a bit with metal, but basically the 416A5, which is the MR223A3. This is a 223 guy. This is just the big brother in 308. So, it's an awesome gun. This gun itself already weighs much less than the G28. Optics aside, the bare gun with a 20-inch barrel is 11.7 pounds, whereas that gun was like 13.1 with a 16.5-inch barrel. So apples to apples, I weighed them, adjusting for the length and weight in the barrel. It's probably about 1.5 pounds that they shaved off this gun. And it's really nice, really pointable. Just that, getting all that weight out of here makes a huge difference. So again, I guess I'll quickly clear the thing and demonstrate the cool ambi controls that this thing has. Got the nice ambi mag release and the ambi bolt catch and release. That is so cool. I love that. So anyways, that's the bonus gun. That's the guns for the day, the guns for the video. Tons more coming in the new year, and lots of fun stuff. One cool thing I'm going to start doing more of is more shooting demonstrations. I recently got sent a regulator, cool little muzzle device from Matador Arms. You can get those. They sell internationally. They're actually a Canadian company though, and they do awesome stuff. This is one of their latest innovations. Was this muzzle device that you can tune. So the ratcheting device up front. In a later video, I'll pull this all apart and show you how it all works. But basically, you can, I think 60 or more clicks you can adjust, and it will fully close this 3-chamber break and just make it solid. And you can go from anywhere from fully closed to fully open. Ports up here as well, they also close. So I think that'll be really fun for testing to see, you know, what the effects of a muzzle brake are. Because as a 3-port muzzle brake, this thing's gonna be pretty darn effective. So if you can just see what a gun shoots like with no assistance at all, basically bare muzzle, all the way up to 3-port, you know, muzzle brake, it'd be kind of neat to see what kind of effects it have on a lot of these different systems. And they make these for 7.62, 223, 5.56, 9mm, and 7.62, I mean like 7.62 with 39, 7.62 NATO, it'll work for 20s, 30 cals. So really cool, innovative thing. I just wanted to show it on here because I asked for one and they sent me one, and we definitely doing some cool stuff with it in the future. I was really impressed with the innovation and the build quality. So that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for your viewership. I do really appreciate it. Check me out, Instagram, Facebook, my other videos on YouTube, Patreon. I got a bit of a bio and stuff on there. And check below for technical specs on all the guns. Not too much technical specs. I just kind of will probably list them all and what they are type things. So you can do further research on your own if you like. And then a lot of these guns, if they don't already have a full video series on them, within 2020, they all will. So stick with me. Definitely appreciate it. Like, subscribe, comment, and that's it. Thanks a ton, guys. Arm&Gun out.